Good day, as we'll be starting with our OPV. My name is Sunita Singh. As Namakondo, I will be presenting about applying the principle of inclusive education to create a supportive learning environment in the classroom. Definition of inclusive education. It's education that includes everyone with non-disabled and disabled people, including these people with special educational need, learning together in mainstream schools, college, and universities. This means the system must adapt to include disabled people. They should not have to adapt to the system. It is expected that all learners with experiencing some difficulties during their school careers reaches exclusion. Diversity should not be seen as a problematic but as a resource, as we are all unique in our own ways. Um, Learners with special needs should not be excluded from normal people. Learners, all learners should be treated equally. Bound between graduate school and public community should be promoted. Progress of growing contribute of all learners. Here's we focus on our background. Inclusion implementation has been problematic in most educational systems. Understanding inclusion will help cater for the diverse learning needs of learners from different ways of life. Alternative to special education was made to include all the learners, moving from right perspective to personal-centered perspective. As we know, what is not regarded as inclusive, it's that school unit in mainstream schools and colleges. This is a segregation to special schools and colleges just for disabled children and students. This is a segregation. Disabled children and students in mainstream education but without enough support for them to be truly included. This is called integration. Disabled learners are in mainstream education but their needs are not met. Explanation of inclusivity education. Here you can see the pictures. It describes all the concept for inclusivity in education. As you can see, we see diversity, disabled, inclusion, equal, innovative care, right, opportunities, leadership, business, statement, society, mission, respect, charity, integrated, discrimination, validity, workshop, diversity, help, plan, vision, building, pedagogy, matters, equalizer. Explanation of inclusive education is that we should empower learners. Learning takes place anywhere, including outside the classroom or school premises. All children need support and have the ability to learn in their own different ways. Respect diversity amongst learners in the classroom. Ensure that every learner contributes to the classroom and make sure they are not left out. Ensure that no learners is being discriminated against. Then learning environment, it's all about diversity. As a teacher, we must make sure we meet their need. Let's take a look look on of examples of how inclusive education can be implemented in the classroom. Number one, create a safe place for students to share. Students also need exclusive time to establish connections with their peers. So regularly split students into new small groups and use the I see, I think, I wonder strategy to diagnose something they have learned about or a current event they may be on their mind. Number two, deliver instruction in a variety of ways. There is an increasing evidence that shows that scaffolding lesson positively influence student engagement. To appeal to different learning styles, reimagine existing lessons, especially those that fill lectures heavily with fresh videos, books, and digital activities. Getting to know your learners and let them get to know you. Establish a bond with your learners. Take times, create opportunity for learners to share their interests, struggles, and aspirations with you, and sharing yours with them builds a connective that can continue to grow. Some teachers like to use surveys or journals to find out more about their student or learners. Then number four, choose relevant lectures. Part of cultural responsive teaching includes providing learners with the literal work that highlights the right experience, including indigenous, African American, and refugee stories, as well as telling that include character with a physical or living or learning disability. Then the last one, invite guest speakers to share their story. According to the article published in the Economy, um, when learners can identify with a teachers or guest speakers or ethical background, they are more likely to perform higher and be more engaged as they see a potential role model and mentor in that person. By inviting a guest speaker, you are providing your learners access to the ethnic learning environment they may never otherwise have.